been a good life then for you.
I got the greatest job in the world, and all I do is lie.
What has surprised you the most about this?
Lesson number one, be ready for the BS. If I get fired from my job today, I can make somebody laugh across the street.
Talk about your friendship with Seinfeld. How did that happen?
I'm the real roommate of Jerry Seinfeld, and I'm the father of his kids.
Tell me about this remake of Samford Son. I think this is genius.
Laverne is my daughter. Norman Lear is my producer.
I'm excited about this. Hey family, it's Carlos Watson. I hope you're ready to laugh. Guess who's stopping by? Comedian George Wallace. You know how funny he is. He is in rare form. Enjoy this man. Enjoy Jerry Seinfeld's best friend. Mr. Wallace.
Good morning. How you doing, son?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I feel good all over.
I like that. Where are you today?
I'm in Atlanta.
Nice. Wait, but that's not home for you, though, is it?
I'm born, raised in Atlanta, but I live here. I live in New York. I live in Los Angeles, and I live in Las Vegas.
Okay. What's your favorite of all those?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. My favorite has to be, I live at 72nd and Central Park West, and I got the top floor, and I have 19 windows. So I pretty much going to have to say that's my favorite of all. And I love Las Vegas, too, because everything is happening in Las Vegas, you know? So that's cool, man. Everything is happening. So many cities, they call themselves the entertainment capital of the world. Well, Las Vegas really is, to be honest.
Mexicans are the smartest people in the world. The Mexicans came over here, we were eating churches and Popeyes. What did the Mexicans say? We can do better. They gave us El Pollo Loco. That chicken is so good, another chicken will eat that chicken.
And how much has Vegas changed over the years? Because you've performed there off and on for a while. How much has it changed?
Carlo, it has changed so much. I went there in 1979 with Diana Ross. We went to Caesar's Palace, and my ultimate goal in life was to work Las Vegas. And I worked with Diana Ross. I did 2 shows a night for 2 weeks. And one night I walked out in front of Caesar's Palace with the fountains going, and I went, yes, that's my goal.
So this has been a good life then for you.
Are you kidding? Nobody has a better life than George Wallace. I'm so blessed, you know, when you have a goal at 6 years old to live your dream and conquer it, and then it happens before you expect it to happen. That's a blessing. And I tell you what, I thank God every day, Carlos.
Would you welcome George Wallace?
Did you read last month where the cop shot this man and killed him? Then the cop said it was in self-defense because the man was on his way home to get a gun. You don't know when Beverly Hills and you walk the street 3 o'clock in the morning, the cops be all down in your pants going, I know you got a television on you somewhere.
Like I said, since 6 years old, I wanted to be a comedian, and that's what I do. I got the greatest job in the world, and all I do is lie. I just love lying. I love make up a lie because I've grown, and you're laughing. You're going to think about this the rest of your life. I'm going to really get into your head.
Yeah.
Every day, a lie is involved. 10 lies is involved in your life. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Everything is a lie.
Right.
But I do have the greatest job in the world, and they pay me.
It's crazy. These horror flicks. The lady's at home by herself now. She hears something downstairs in the basement. She has never been downstairs in that basement in her life. But today.
Now, how did you get interested in it that early at 6? How did you even know that somebody could make money as a comedian?
Carlos, I did not know about the money part. I knew about the happiness that laughter brings. And my family was always about laughter, joy. My home was the house of the neighborhood where all of the kids hung out. And my dad was a crazy man, and my mom, she loved to entertain the community with cooking. So making people happy has always been a part of my life. I know when I walk into a room, I try to walk in with a smile. And I used to watch television late at night. Back in the day, we had 3, you're not old enough to know this, Carlos, but we had 3 stations. We had NBC, ABC, and CBS. And late at night, we had the Tonight Show with Steve Allen. And the comedians would always make me laugh. And then watching the party records, as all of the young black kids do. We used to listen to the party records, Red Fox and Wild Man Steve and Mom's Mabley and Judge Pinkmeat Markham. And these were so-called blue jokes or dirty jokes back in the day, and we would listen to them when our parents would leave the house. And it just made people happy. And I would take those same jokes, Red Skelton, Milton Berle, I would take those jokes to school, and the classroom would laugh, and then that's what I was always known for, bringing laughter to the class. You know, when you're a kid, you listen to everything you're not supposed to, and for some reason, the dirty jokes are really, really funny.
Oh, everybody likes dirty jokes. Everybody, whether they want to admit it or not. I always say I like people who are a little bit inappropriate. You don't want people who just doing this all the time. You need it to be a little bit inappropriate. Yeah.
There you go. Go to the line. Go to the line. That's what I like. I love to do. And sometimes I'll cross the line, because sometimes it really gets good when you cross the line.
If you put cinnamon brown sugar on anything, it's gonna taste good, ain't it? You can take cinnamon and brown sugar and put it on liver. You gonna eat it. Some of y'all in here don't like to have oral sex, but if you put some cinnamon and sugar, you gonna eat it.
All right, for your money, besides yourself, you gotta leave yourself out of it. Who are the top 3 comedians of all time? If this is George Wallace's Mount Rushmore of the greatest comedians of all time, who's up there?
Well, we're gonna put Richard Pryor up there. I'm gonna put Richard Pryor up there. Right now, I'm into Bernie Mac. I would like to put a kid up there by the name of DC Youngfly right now. He doesn't qualify to be up there, but right now he's in my head.
Wow. It's interesting that you say Bernie Mac, because I did think Bernie Mac and Roseanne Barr both, I thought, were funnier than their TV shows. Sometimes shows bring out the best of people, but sometimes I feel like shows don't. You know who else was funny was Robin Harris. You remember Robin Harris?
Do I remember? You know how old I am? I've been on comedy so long, people accuse me of stealing my own. I'm sorry. I can't believe he asked me, do I remember Robin Harris? I know all the comedians. Matter of fact, I think I'm the oldest black comedian working today. I think I'm the oldest comedian. There may be Jimmy Walker, maybe, but I doubt it. We may be born in the same year. But I knew all of the comedians. I had a chance to work with them. How about Red Fox? Better actor? He was really good.
Full House. I got a flush. Straight flush.
Flush is right. Your money going right down the toilet.
Red Fox is a good example of where someone's TV show and their comedy came together.
Red's a great comedian. If you went to see Fred Sanford, a very good rude awakening.
The toughest thing in the world, have to turn to your mate one night and say, you got to wash your ass.
Totally different. Same thing with Bob Saget that just passed away.
May he rest in peace, yeah.
Yeah, may he rest in, I don't know why people say rest in peace. If you leave him alone and stop bringing his name up, maybe he'll rest in peace. It's another lie people tell. People lie, and when people die, everybody, he was the greatest person. And then while they're living, they go, he's a piece of crap. He never did it. Bob Saget was I wish everybody had a friend like Bob Saget.
You've always been a person that brings people together. That's the thing I loved about you the minute I met you.
Well, it's all about giving back and being a friend to each other. It's so easy to be nice and just laugh. And that's why we became friends, and all we ever did was laugh and have fun.
Where is your favorite audience? Which audience have you loved performing for over the years?
I'm gonna tell you exactly where it is. It's the audience that's in front of me at this time. I love working every night. I love anywhere there's an audience that's come to laugh, and my job is to deliver. And when I see happy people, it makes me happier. And my audience is everybody. I'm fortunate enough to have what you call a crossover audience, black and white. I don't know what's going to happen in Las Vegas one night. It could be 50% black, it could be 50, half and half, 60-40. I don't know, but I know people come to laugh, and they paid to see me make them laugh. And the show is not about me, it's our show.
I went to the grocery store, had a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, a loaf of bread, 3 bananas, 6 Coca-Colas, a Wall Street joint, a moon pie, and 3 bags of pork rinds. And the cashier said, you want a bag?
Now, do you ever get nervous up there?
Occasionally I get nervous when I have to do a corporate show or any show that limits me to 15 minutes. And when you got to take your material, I'm used to doing an hour and a half every night in Las Vegas, but when you got to cut it down to 15, 20 minutes, let's say if you're doing a TV show, 5 minutes, because I come out and I say hello and I don't know where I'm going to go with that. So sometimes I can get nervous when I got to cut my time down to 20 minutes because I don't know what I'm doing till I hit the stage. As much as I write, and I keep this yellow legal pad with me everywhere I go, every day. For 46 years, I've been doing stand-up. I keep this legal pad, and So I don't know what I'm doing until I get out there.
People in Los Angeles driving around in a smart car, drinking smart water, talking on the smartphone, and sitting in traffic looking like a dumbass.
Now, do you ever find that you bomb on stage?
I bombed one night in front of a crowd in the mountains of New York. I forgot what you call it.
Catskills.
Catskills, that's it.
Yeah, yep.
I was doing comedy for only less than a year. For some reason, some promoter thought I was good enough to go up to a Jewish market.
Right.
The Jewish and the black crowds are the toughest crowds in the world, right? And I didn't even have good jokes. One year, I went up, I had to do 45 minutes. Let me tell you something, Carlos. I did not 45 minutes. I got not one laugh.
Come on.
They were stirs, they were clicking the glass. I'm telling you, it hurt so badly. So my mom died. I went to my mom's funeral. My mom's funeral was pretty bad. But bombing on stage that night in front of those sold out room of 500 people in the Catskills was really, really bad. And I wanted to drive off the Tappan Zee Bridge on my way home that night. It was really bad. Bombing can hurt psychologically, so it can really, really hurt.
Hey, now tell me this, because you talk about people laughing and it being good for their soul, but I remember seeing an interesting interview once with Jim Carrey where he talked about the fact that he wasn't very happy and that in fact he was the opposite and that it was a real struggle for him and it was a struggle in general and certainly in his personal life that people saw him being so funny and goofy and silly that they assumed, but he said nope, there was pain, there was depression, there was numbness. Is your experience that most comedians are closer to Jim Carrey, or do you think that there is a lightness about them?
It appears that maybe 75% of comedians have gone through a period of hard times or depression, and they get their relief through laughter on stage, and most are not happy. And we've seen some things happen a la Robin Williams, Richard Pryor. Let me say this in a way about all of these top-known comedians and entertainers in particular that we know. And I have adjusted my life that I'm not worried about being on top or number one. I've noticed there's a lot of luggage, like the airlines, if you carry too much luggage, the airlines will charge you for excess baggage. And I've noticed most people on top, there's a little hell to come along with it. Dr. King caught hell. John F. Kennedy caught hell. Richard Pryor caught hell. Michael Jackson caught hell. Prince. Let's go. Whitney Houston. Let's just keep naming all of these number ones with all of these problems. So I'm teaching young comedians now, just don't worry about being on top of the mountain. Just be on your way up the mountain, unless that's where you want to be. But you're looking at me, and I tell everybody, I am the most successful comedian you've ever met, or the most successful entertainer you've ever met. It's not how much money you make, it's how you enjoy your life while you're living.
So I'm driving behind a lady today, and her license plate said, C-U-T-I-P-I. Cutie pie. You got it? Cutie pie. I said, well, let me inch up a little bit and check her out. I said, damn, she must have stole this car.
Tell me what has surprised you the most about this. Like if you went back and talked to that young kid from Atlanta who had graduated school, came up to New York, was trying to make it, and you were like, let me tell you what's gonna surprise you over the next 46 years. I'm gonna tell you the real. I'm not gonna tell you the obvious stuff that people, I'm gonna tell you the real. What is gonna surprise him? What 2 or 3 things are gonna surprise that kid?
You can't be a wanna be a comedian. You can't, I wanna be a comedian. It's gotta be, I gotta be a comedian. I've got to be a comedian. Lesson number 1, be ready for the BS. 70% of being an entertainer and making it, you gotta deal with a lot of BS. So if you can handle that and still stay in the game, being dedicated, devoted, disciplined, and determined, right, you can make it. But you gotta wanna put up with all of that because there's gonna be some haters, and you cannot worry about what somebody else's career is doing. Well, I'm funnier than he. Well, okay, but he got the job, didn't he? So you just gotta take care of you. Worry about you, know who you are, and there's a market for everybody. Do you, be honest, trust yourself, work hard, and it'll come around. Honor your essence, I like to say. Honor your essence.
You think there's a local crowd in here, or there's a regular tourist?
I don't know.
Hey, where's everybody from?
Talk about your friendship with Seinfeld. How did that happen? And why are you guys such good friends? Because sometimes that level of celebrity on both sides may actually cause people to go in their own separate camps. But I get the sense that there's a deep, rich friendship here.
We started to catch a rising star in New York City together. We were both young, and I had a car. So if you have a car, everybody loves you, because nobody has a car. Because the reason I had a car, because I don't know whether you know my whole story. Yeah. I got out of college, I sold rags. I sold real rags, Carlos. I don't know whether you know this or not. A company called Cleveland Cotton Products. I sold the ShamWow back in 1973, before it even had a name. But I had a car, and I was working Catch a Rising Star, and I could drive us to the clubs. But one night, Seinfeld got sick. He was really, really sick. And I said, come on, I'm gonna take you someplace in New York City. We had a drugstore on 53rd and Lexington Avenue. Back in the day, there was only one drugstore open 24 hours. And we started hanging out and driving together. And then one day he invited me into his home for Thanksgiving on the island. And I'm just going, I was really ignorant. And really ignorant. I'm not going to these Jewish people's house. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to eat the filter. I didn't know. See, I was stupid. I didn't know what people. I thought Jewish people had this matzo balls and all of that. I said, I'm not going to eat it because I'm very picky about what I eat. And somebody said, you've got to go, man. That's your friend. You've been running together. I don't give a damn. So eventually we went out there to the home, and they said, okay, dinner's ready. And I was like, oh hell. And I went in, Carlos, to the dining room, and guess what they had on the table? Turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, sweet potato. Same thing all the houses have for Thanksgiving. And then the parents were very nice, and his dad was really crazy and funny. And we wound up being roommates for 13 years. And I always make this into a joke. I'm his roommate. I'm the real roommate that you see on the TV show. I'm the real roommate of Jerry Seinfeld. 13 years roommates. I was best man in his wedding, and I'm the father of his kids. But we've been really close all these years. And one thing we have kept separate is business and friendship.
You got to tell me about this remake of Samford Son. I think this is genius. I'm excited about this.
Oh, it's actually not a remake. I went to Norman Lear and said I wanted to reboot Samford Son. He said, no, don't do that. Do something else. But I still want him to do it. That's why I have to. That's why I have the hair.
Right.
But what we did, we decided that a friend of mine, after Norman said, change it to do something different. A friend of mine has two kids, twins. One's a boy, one's a girl. Right. But the boy never identified as a boy. So he was always a girl in his head, always in the mind, and we was just thinking, I told my friend, well, you got to love that kid no matter what. I don't care what he says, what he does, you still got to love that kid. Love trumps everything. Well, I'd be thinking, what if, since I want to redo Samford Son, what if I had a son that was my son, and we got it based out of Mobile, Alabama, an old black man, back in the 60s, our job was to, and my dad and your dad was to put food on the table. The mom usually took care of the house and the kids. But I didn't know what my son was going through, what kind of life he was living. But my wife died, he was 16, just like my mom was 16. And he took off in the car and went to New York City. I did not know about his life. He took off, Edwin took off, went to New York. 30 years later, he returns to Mobile, Alabama, knocks on the door. He said, Dad, it's me. Me who? Edwin. Are you his wife? My son had transgendered. I'm going to be educated. America's going to be educated to live and let live. And I'm taking it to the black church, which is the worst place in the world for understanding certain social ills or matters. And people in the church are going, I didn't know Henry had a daughter. Henry didn't know he had a daughter either. Laverne Cox is my daughter. Norman Lear is my producer.
If you had not made it in comedy, what would you have done?
Well, my first degree is in transportation. I'm pretty sure I would be one of the first black presidents of an airline. And coming from Atlanta, that would be Delta.
I'm struck by you saying you'd be the CEO of Delta Airlines. And that is so powerful and so interesting that that's where it would have been. Why did you make it in comedy? Was there a moment? Was there a champion that helped you through? Was there a rabbi? Did you happen to be in the right city to make it? Why did you make it in comedy instead of all those people who dropped out and didn't make it?
Like I said, it's got to be in you. You got to have that in you. I got to be a comedian. That's all I know how to do is lie and make people happy. And let me tell you something, when you love going to work, and a form of laughter, what else you gonna do? That's all I know how to do. If I get fired from my job today, I can make somebody laugh across the street. It's just there, man. And I hope you enjoy what you're doing as much as I do. I love going to work.
Hey, you mind, before I let you go, can I do a rapid fire with you where I hit you with 5 or 10 quick questions?
Oh, let me drink some vodka.
Here you go. I like that.
You know it's good when you got vodka dripping from your lips.
That's a man who's lived a good life. I like that. All right, I'm gonna start you at the top. Most beautiful place you've ever been?
Well, that would be Macau, China.
Oh, interesting.
Let's take that back. Most beautiful place. This is supposed to be rapid fire. That's what I'm gonna talk about. Let's go back to Brazil, the statue of Christ on the mountain. Yeah. That's the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Your favorite movie?
Color Purple.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
Greatest athlete of all time?
Muhammad Ali.
Your favorite book?
Laugh It Off.
Your favorite meal?
Ooh, I love barbecue. I like to go to a barbecue place where somebody just got shot and nobody got out of line. Nobody got it. That's when you know. I love barbecue.
If you ruled the world, what's one change you would make?
Everybody must take a class in behavioral science. First rule I'd make is get rid of all the discriminatory practices. That's number one. Yeah. Discriminatory practices and prejudice and races, that's up there with murder with me. I love people. I don't like anybody to be treated wrong. And when you discriminate, that's what I grew up right in the back of the bus, so I know about discriminatory practices. I was at Dr. King's funeral. I've done a lot of great things in my life, but if I was in charge of the world, that's something we'd have to work on. Wouldn't be any such thing as a voters' rights bill. So many things you could change. Me being the ruler of the world. Chick-fil-A gonna be open on Sunday. I don't give a damn what they say.
Hey, George, I'm gonna have to come and see you. And you have to invite me to your show. If you ever come out to the Bay Area, please invite me to your show.
Of course. Carlos, that's one of the greatest areas to do comedy. If I come to the Bay Area, I will invite you. If I'm in Oakland, I don't care if I'm in San Francisco, I'm gonna invite you and I'm gonna call you and tell you exactly where you can buy your tickets.
Hey, really hope you enjoyed George Wallace as much as I did. Just makes you laugh all day long. What a good guy, but what a smart and thoughtful person as well. Really appreciated him talking about honor your essence. Loved when he talked about the fact that he needed to be a comedian, didn't just want to be, but needed to be. And you know what else really struck me? When I asked him what he would have done if not a comedian, he didn't give any of the answers I would have thought. He said the president of Delta Airlines. What a big thought. Think about that. Hey, if you're enjoying the Carlos Watson Show, don't forget, Magic every weekday. Come see us.